Hello everyone, good to see you all again. Hello, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm excited for Artfight. How about you? Hello SG. Doing alright. Might get a job interview soon. Nice! I got accepted into the postal office and I start next next month. Hi Nebula. Congratulations, thank you, and congratulations to you. I hope you get the job. Congrats, Pegasus. Thank you. I just hope that the post office job isn't so time consuming that I have no time to, live a life. That's my only concern, but for the most part I hope I can I get used to the job. I got a C on my most recent math test. Nice. I hope I get any interview anyway, whether I get the job or not. Okay. Let's get right into it. So this stream we're gonna prep for our fight. Yeah, once you fall into a routine it gets easier. I certainly hope so. But yeah, so Artfight is coming around again in a few weeks. Hi, Lewis. And there are 3 teams this year. Three teams? Yeah. Also, I got into this one visual novel called Killer Chat. Oh, what's that all about? So yeah, so this year's Artfight has 3 teams. Team Comedy, Team Mystery, and Team Tragedy. Oops, I realize I am not showing my screen anymore. Oops. There we go. That was the team. Me and my friends are all like struggling to pick which team. I ended up choosing Team Comedy, also because I just like comedy's design a little bit more. Not that I dislike tragedy or mystery, all of them are all equally amazing looking, and I like all 3 genres. But I think I'm gonna stick to comedy. High freak circus vibes. It Loki does, so that's why on my oops, where is my thing? On my banner, I have my Freak Circus OCs that are going to be my high prioritized characters, along with Pip, one other OC I have, and of course Dolly. I just gotta have Dolly on my banner. Love your profile character design. Thank you. It's been a while since I used my Pegasus Persona character, so I thought I'd put her there. So yeah, all of these are my main characters that I would like for people to go after this season of Artfight. Dolly's just your mascot. She really is my mascot at this point. She's like my secondary mascot. It's basically a satire visual novel where you're a writer, well, an inspiring writer, and you join a server full of assassins, and you gotta romance them. I'm currently romancing. Oh, okay. That is an interesting theme. I don't think I've heard a story like that before. So thankfully, I'm already working ahead, and hopefully, when this is done, if we still have time, maybe I can do more caricature sheets for my other for these guys, just for so people have more stuff to work with when Art Fight starts. Yeah, it's great, and I love Misaki. Okay, that's not. Is it? Yep, here it is. And maybe all my other characters are here. So is anyone here planning on attempting to do Art Fight? And when I say do Art Fight, it doesn't mean like you're gonna dedicate all your time to it. It's just like, maybe I'll do one or two pictures and that'll be it. Especially for me, since I'm going to start my post office work next month too, like halfway through the month. So that's really gonna mess up my time of like how much artwork I can do. Not me. Okay. I don't know. I might do art fight. I might do art fight, might not. Depends how busy I am. Yeah, that's fair. I just like doing art fight because it's fun. Actually, I guys want to show you all the attacks I got for art fight last year, because I love and appreciate all of them. Okay, so these are all art gifts that people gave to me during art fight from last year, and I love all of them. Someone drew Dolly for me. This is very cute. I wrote thank you, didn't I? Yeah, I wrote thanks. Very adorable, very cute. And someone drew D&D Magic Fantasy Pip for me, along with a few other characters. Apparently they're trying to fight a dragon. Pip, is this safe? No, but this is why Missy's here. Everyone knows bards are good with dragons. I'm not that kind of bard. And funny enough, I'm pretty sure Sleepy Buns is a friend of mine that I met through college. She's my DM, so me and a few others are going to be playing DM soon. Dungeons and Dragons soon. And of course, someone drew Liar the Bat from my Has Been Hotel story. And someone drew Quill. I was so happy when someone drew Quill. And I love how he looks so snooty. I love him. I love him in this art style. Oh yeah. So someone sent me that. So in return, I drew one of their characters just having a jam sesh with Dolly. And someone drew my character, the Siren. I am very grateful they drew this. Apparently, they had a very hard time drawing her tail. And someone else drew Dolly. This one was more of an angst picture, but I love it still. They said, I remember watching a video where Dolly saw toy phones and saw another character on the box. So they were recreating a scene from a video they saw of mine, which was nice. This one's nice as well. Kind of a throwaway character I had. But cute. She looks great. Then I got more pips. I got 2 pips, which was nice. And another Dolly drawing. You okay, Ryan? Yeah. What was that noise? Okay. And then someone drew my alien character that I had one time. Looks very beautiful. And this is from someone I drew for 2 years ago, and they drew for me last year. So this was nice. Riz. I'm on it. Hello. And this one person, Jay Snoozing, did an amazing job drawing Pip. I love the lighting and the coloring. Well, what's going on over here? I'm showing some art fight attacks I received from last year because we're doing a stream to do some Artfight Prep. And that's about it. That is all the Artfight attacks I got from last year. So I'm very excited for this year because now I got this star system to like kind of indicate which characters I want drawn most, but that's still up to the person whether they want to draw them or not. And these are my main guys that I like to be drawn. Noise, yeah. So I can't wait to see these guys drawn again if they are. And just to draw like other characters that I come across. And there are some very cute, interesting characters I came across that I can't wait to draw. Well, they did a great job making them. Also, having coffee since I just woke up. Oh, good morning then. I predict lots of Mother Fortuna. Man, I would love for to get so many drawings of Mother Fortuna. Because she's a giant woman, and who don't love giant women? The 2 most ones I hope gets the most drawing is Mother Fortuna and Odile. I want those 2 to have a lot of drawings. So I do aim to try to get a lot of clown jester themed characters Mainly just because of the fact that comedy, tragedy, masks. By the way, I'm already entering college. Nice. My only advice is make sure you manage your time and your assignments, stay on track of everything, and enjoy the time you have in college. BRB, need to feed my cats? Okay. This is gonna be a fun art fight. I certainly hope so. Especially now since a lot of my college friends, I still keep in contact with them, are also in Artfight. So I made sure to follow them and to see like what team they're on. And if they're on my opposite team, I picked out a character that I wanted to draw for them. So I'm excited to like see which team they're on. So far I'm aware that like I think maybe three of them may be on team mystery and one other person is on team comedy with me. I have to pay for a lot of things. Part of my enrollment. Nice. Give me a sec. I gotta see what my troublesome cats are up to. Yikes. That is a lot. Yeah, sorry to check on my cats because they're making a ruckus outside. I was wondering like what the heck they're doing. What are they up to? I think they're running around chasing each other and thus banging into our closet door, which is mirrors. So if they bang it up too much, the door may come loose and fall. Where am I supposed to get the money from? Pay for that. Sounds like you're gonna need us to do a part-time job. Yeah. I think they skedaddled when they heard me coming, so they knew what they were doing was naughty. Smart cats for that. Lewis, hello. And I'm just falling deeper and deeper into the Witch Hat Atelier rabbit hole when it comes to the anime. So much so that I finally started writing the story I said I wanted to write. I wanted to get a part-time job at a call center, but it just ended up with me having an argument with my parents. Well, it sounds like something you and your parents are going to discuss it if your parents don't want you having a part-time job. But maybe it's best to keep this kind of stuff between you and your parents. You don't need to air this out to strangers on the internet. It's okay. Yeah, hopefully everything works out for you in the end. I had a feeling that this would happen at some point. Probably. Yeah, because colleges are weird. Like one time, before my graduation, I almost didn't make graduation because for some reason the school system didn't tell me that I no longer applied to graduate. So they almost withheld me from graduating. I had to plead my case to the school board to let me graduate. Dang, yeah, it was stressful because I had to go to my counselor, and my counselor was very apologetic for missing that and not telling me ahead of time. So after pleading our case, the school's like, "All right, fine, we'll let you graduate and not need to make up for that last class." But they still low key just somewhat told me it was still my fault for not catching it. Why did that happen? So our college uses this My Star system to like keep track of all your classes to make sure you're staying on track. So I was talking to my counselor about some stuff, and they said, "Oh, you don't need this last class to graduate." So I thought he meant, "Oh, I did not need to take any more classes after like this final semester, this one more semester." So while I was in the processes of finishing that last semester, it turns out no, I still technically needed that class, but the system didn't tell me in time, so I couldn't apply to classes in time. I can only imagine how you must feel being so shocked by the news. Oh, I was shocked. I was literally in the middle of work when that happened, and I cried for a little bit. I cried a little. Like, what do you mean I don't pass? I work so hard, yada yada. So yeah, I got in contact with my counselor. He helped me plead a case for me, and the school board eventually dropped that last class and was like, "All right, you can graduate," since it was technically there's some fault in our system. What jerks? Yeah, I feel ya. I got a cat named Chaos, and let's just say their names are very accurate. Cats can be very chaotic. Chaotic, but we love them. Man, especially if they're like orange cat levels chaotic, that's a whole nother thing. It's a good thing St. Jude doesn't have those kinds of problems, except for some like certificates going missing. Mm, that don't sound nice. I had an orange cat who wasn't chaotic, just mean. Yeah, orange cats, they're either chaotic or they're just like the most random type of like personality. You never know if they're going to be mean or kind. It's like just a gamble with them. Make sure that all the squares are covered. I know, right? I feel like the stuff works or zoning out while working. Hi, Midnight! Man, that's probably gonna be me while I'm working at the post office, just zoning out a little bit. Are you joining Artfight Midnight? Or are you gonna pass this year? Sadly, no Artfight. Keeps telling me my OCs are not mine. That is weird. So you're just like unable to upload any characters or nah? And since I am going to get my own laptop, have enough money to buy one, I do plan on drawing to show a drawing I made of Durlord 3. Oh, nice! Can't wait to see that. I've been I've tried hand drawn OCs, unable to upload my OCs. Yeah, that sucks, Midnight. I hope I hope you're able to join Artfight someday, or some year. Why would Artfight do that? Even after you like check all your settings, it still wouldn't let you claim to have these OCs. Are you the Slime Knight supporter? I see we have some like Durlor fans in here. Yep, Evan. Even the ones with my marks. Yikes. Hmm. Do I have any noteworthy character to upload? Oh my gosh, my tiefling bard. Maybe after I do the D&D, I'll upload him. But for now, we'll just stick to these guys. Oops. Did not mean to do that. My orange cat, who was named Goofy, I swear had only one brain cell. Seems that orange cats are a mystery box. Speaking of Slime Knight, I am actually interested in the King in Yellow, because the Cthulhu mythos is one of the fandoms I used to love when I was in junior high. Yeah, I've heard a lot of interesting things about like the Yellow King, although I do not entirely understand what it was about. If you do come to an understanding of what it is, feel free to explain that to me the next time you come by the stream. I found a Dr. Seuss horror game. I've been falling into the fandom of it. Oh yeah. I saw that. I saw some gameplay of that. I love the fact that they rhyme the whole time. It's great. The summary to identify the Elk King is that he is an eldritch entity, and when someone looks at him, they painfully get infinite knowledge. Oh yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. And the fact that Durlor outsmarts him is crazy. Then I'm pretty sure the King in Yellow's name is Hester, but I don't know. I don't know much about the Old King either, so I wouldn't know. Once I get my laptop, I'll make a Discord server so we can talk. Nice. I agree, and now I'm making an OC for a Dr. Seuss horror game. Nice. I was very impressed with the Dr. Seuss horror game. It was great. Although it was a bit long for me since it was a span of multiple videos that I watched, but I did like it a lot. Dr. Seuss horror fits. Yeah, it kind of did. It was really good. I like it, so I was right. Oh, the King in Yellow's name is Hester Nebula. Okay. Now, where did I put it? Let's see if I have it anywhere. so I gotta go back and download pictures of it. And I can just go to my screenshots. It's called The Isle of Dr. Maroose. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Give it a play or give it a watch. In fact, I do plan on buying a book about the Yellow King, since the name, Corsa got me curious. Oh, okay. You know what I've been noticing though? Like, so many good storytellers and game designers or story creators. There's so many good ones that are just not in Hollywood or in big companies. Here's just a heads up, my Discord is basically the same as my YouTube username, but using the underscore, okay. And that's good, yep. And it's very nice. It's a nice feeling knowing that there's so much talent just in the indie field scene. And for the most part, I mean, it does still require a bit of luck and good design in general, but a good chunk of the time, they can make it as they can dedicate time to expand on what they make and all that great stuff. And that's why I do hope a lot of them do become successful. I know a few who do that. And yeah, I just realized the last episode for Amazing Digital Circus YouTube version comes out in 4 days. I'm excited for you guys who haven't watched it yet. Four days. Whoa, yeah. The final episode on YouTube comes out in 4 days. That's crazy how time flies. I'm scared. Don't be, you're gonna have such a fun time. And once you guys do watch it, I can't wait to finally discuss it with you guys. Yeah, Baker. Hey guys, I'm here and I got a new iPad. I'm on it right now. Nice. And also, hello, Leona Baker. I'm actually curious on what Gooseros has cooked up for us. Also, hello, Leona. I say it was a pretty good movie, so I'm very excited for you guys to actually see it. And spice. I also wish like Goosework didn't have to go through all that drama with her fandom because she seems so tired. It sucks like seeing the worst part of the fandom like suck the joy out of her own creation from her. That's like gotta suck. Yeah, she still creates and takes an internet break. I definitely think she needs an internet break. Is this the mouse version of YN? I love it. Yeah, this is Pip, who was originally going to be a replacement for Dolly, but she ended up just becoming her own character in like Threadville and Welcome Home. Can't exactly have the creator have can't exactly have the creator having burnout from her creation. Yeah, but I guess when you deal with the toxic side of the fandom, it really could burn you out. Are you hyped for Welcome Home's next update? Oh, when's the next update coming out? Because if it's soon, yeah, I was super excited to feel very stupid because I can't find the clues and I have to wait a few days for other people to find the clues for me. This summer or fall, I think. Okay. Dimension Hopper Pip Lol. Yeah, she's a Dimension Hopper. And she does so by astral projecting by getting high. Oh shoot, I completely forgot about Wally. I mean, it's hard not to forget about Wally from time to time because Welcome Home has very very long breaks between them. So I tend to get distracted by other things in the meantime while I wait. What else do I need to color? I need to color Dolly. Who just shouted? That was my brother. I think he's talking to his girlfriend right now. When he gets very excited or excited about something, sometimes he'll shout like that. Yeah, Welcome Home's in hibernation period right now. For most people. I feel like that's generally what happens with Welcome Home. It'll have its highs when it updates. People will be talking about it for a bit. They'll do their thing. And then they go back into hibernation mode, which is probably for the best. Speaking of Welcome Home, how's my lovely octopus doing? Damon doing? Good, I suppose. I haven't drawn him in so long, man. I've heard about. I've heard the word Wally, and you don't know how when I hear Wally start spamming apples. Interesting. Also, bye, Nebula. Oh, bye, Nebula. Gotta go eat dinner. Enjoy dinner. Thanks for the stream, but I gotta go eat. Nice. Enjoy your food. Apple War, fond memories. Oh yeah, I remember. And I remember when there were so many Wallies just showing up in the chat. Cool. Mm-hmm. And there's so many whoops. So many fun memories of Welcome Home. Back when it was in its peak. My cat is trying to sit on my drawing tablet while I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to draw, cat. You can't be here right now. By the by, am I the only one who feels a bit uncomfortable upon entering the Monsterverse community? What's the Monsterverse? Is it Her Majesty? Yes, she's trying to sit on my drawing tablet while I'm drawing. I was learning so I don't spam apples. Don't spam too many apples is all I have to say. Because whenever I enter, it's all about Godzilla and King Frenzy, and I have a ghostly feeling of judgment. Sadly, when it comes to the internet, it really has just become a shipping place. You go to ship. But I mean, I see a lot of interesting ships. Like, there's one with Godzilla and Mothra, I believe. Maybe see the cat, looks like, to see the queen bring her latest beauty. Well, sadly, I don't have a computer camera, so give me a sec. And now I gotta send this photo to my computer. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with shipping them. They aren't that cursed like others. I'm not gonna lie, I think your Welcome Home AU of home looks cool. Thank you. I've I don't know, I might want to return to Welcome Home, the Neverland AU, for one more time before I go start working at the postal office. If I can just muster up the motivation to do so. Come on. My phone is acting strange. Come on. Where is it? Your motivation is key. And a lot of snacks like cookies. Okay. Maybe try watching Peter Pan to help you? Yeah, maybe. There is a good ship that involves a circus. We go, Piero and Ryan. Nice. Now let me just get that picture for you guys. Here we go. There you go. That's the current picture of Her Majesty. Beautifully humbling. Thank you. What a queen. Mm-hmm. Kitty, yes. Yeah, her and Sunny were fighting for a good bit. Thankfully, they got over it. Now they're friends again. About YN, there is a community that says YN has like become a character of their own. I feel like all YNs will eventually become characters of their own. It's very hard to keep insert characters as stale as white bread. She looks gorgeous in all of her beauty. Thank you. But alright, let's get back to this. Just like human sisters. I think the reason why they're fighting is because Sunny was pretty docile and would just let Callie win in their like little play fights. But I guess she started fighting back recently, so and Callie didn't like that. She matured. Need another victory. There is this. But yeah, I think I want to try at least before I end up before Artfight and before we I end up working at the post office. I do want to try push out one last welcome home Wonderland at you. Speaking about Callie, my second cat gave birth to 4 kittens. I adopted a abandoned orange kitten. Named them Coffee. Hold up, I saw that purple rabbit from Amazing Joe Circus. You're hiding Jax away from us. Get to explain yourself. Are you shipping the funny bunny? Because we all shipping them. I'm not shipping funny bunny, but my own OC and Jax. I don't necessarily ship them. I had a very specific idea in mind. Because yes, I do like Jax, but in a very like, man, this guy needs some serious help kind of thing way. Oh, bye Midnight. Yeah, but I wanted to do some more fan art for Amazing Digital Circus as like a thank you for Gooseworks for all the hard work you put into. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. I just haven't finished this yet. Very sweet, thank you. Shucks, I never got around to ever like drawing these characters. My OCs. My Amazing Digital Circus OC. Because I was just distracted by other things. But there's also some good news. They're adding Amazing Digital to Fortnite. If you don't believe me, see for yourself. Oh no, I saw. Yeah, they made Jax and Pomni a skin, and they gave Gummy Goo and Ribbit a backpack. Which I find very funny. But sadly, I don't play Fortnite, so it doesn't really mean too much to me. I finally came up with the solid idea for a major circus for me. A whirly gig with three faces that change on their emotions. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I saw how they added Pomni and Jax into Fortnite. There's one picture that has Jax using Zooble as a parapet. Poor Zooble. Yeah. I wish they added all of the characters, like Ragatha, maybe even Gangle, but I guess they can only put in so many characters. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those Fortnite designs. I find it funny enough, but I don't play Fortnite in general, so I don't really pay too much attention to it. Yeah, and finally getting around to writing that story I wanted to for um, Witch Hat Atelier. And it's going to be a very Bluey, Bambi esque story between a young Fey prince and Coco and how they became lifelong friends. I'm very excited because this ideas I have is super cute. They first become friends when Coco sees the Fey Prince, young Fey Prince, that roughly around her age, is just freely doing magic, and they bond over the amazing majesty of magic. So a lot of times when Coco's done with her chores and whatnot have you, she goes off into the forest to go play with her friend. And at first they can't understand each other because the words language barrier. Because Fays in this story typically speak in Old English, which is almost like an entirely different language, but it's like the very beginnings of English. So at first they don't very have a hard time understanding or communicating with each other, but they still find ways to play and bond and discover magic together. So if you watch Bluey, it's like that Bluey and Jean Luc episode. Cute. And as they grow together and play more, Jean Luc starts to like the Fey Prince starts to speak semi modern English to the point where at least Coco is able to understand him. But just as that barrier slowly starts to fall apart, the start of the whole anime series begins, and thus they're separated for a time. Jean Luc is now that Faye name. I do have an actual name for the character, I just forgot because I only just started writing. But yeah, for now we'll just call him Jean-Luc for now. But yeah, so of course, if you watch the anime or read the manga, Coco discovers how humans do magic, and she accidentally turns her house and her mom into stone. And that kicks off her whole journey of becoming a witch. But when this happened and like Kifri takes her away to study under him, Coco didn't have time to tell Jean-Luc what happened, so she basically just up and left. So when Jean-Luc comes over like he usually does to like ask Coco to come out and play, only to see her house destroyed and no signs of Coco anywhere. Very calm. Gotta go. See ya. Bye, Lewis. Oops. So yeah, when Jean-Luc comes by to like ask his best friend to come outside and play, he only comes to see a destroyed home and his friend nowhere to be seen. Hold on, everyone. I gotta leave for a bit. Got some food from Jollibee. BRB. Okay. Trauma. Yes, we always gotta love some good old trauma. But like that Bluey episode, he never stopped learning how to speak English for Coco. Although he speaks more on like Shakespearean than normal English. But one day they do meet again. And he gives her like this pendant he made for her so that if she ever needs help or with anything, she can just call him for help. Because he doesn't want to lose Coco again, his best friend. Did you ever finish that cookie run horror AU? Yes, I did. Oh, yes. So I'm gonna show you the AU I did. Give me a sec while I save. And I open my cookie run stuff. No, it's not there. It would be in video. Really? Might still be. Okay, now I gotta open it somewhere else. Alright. Let me turn off the music and see if I can play this. Discord, let's see. Why can't I play it? Here we go. Alright, so this is what I made, and this is my finished work, I guess. Yep, and that's what I got. Sweet, thank you. I'll probably upload it to my YouTube Shorts, and I don't know, it's because it's uploaded to my Tumblr. I love it, love it, love it, love it so much. Thank you. I don't know, I might do like small comics here and there for it on the side if I have time. But for the most part, it's kind of like a one-shot kind of thing. How much time do I have left? We just hit the 1 hour mark. Okay. It's very hot in here. I'm gonna try to turn on the fan. KC9. Casey! Oh dear, I forgot you're alive. Hello, and thanks for coming. Yes, cool down. Hello, Casey. Because I'm like, yeah, that's my issue with me having ADD slash ADHD. It's so hard to decide what one project I want to do. Because I want to do alcohol, but I also want to do some more stuff for these characters because I don't want to forget them. I like them a lot. Let's go. Cat, give me some more writing room, please. Maybe I should turn this to a different color. There we go. I just love looking at this. Thank you. Now it's time to do some rendering. After like fill up, like, why is there so much white spots here? Alright. What was I talking about? Forget. Oh, yeah. So there's so many projects I want to do. Like I want to do a small little story with Odile. Because since Odile is the only flying monster of the group, sometimes if the circus needs something from a town farther away that will take a long time to drive there, sometimes they'll have Odile fly through the sky to get to the next town or city over to like gather supplies for them. And another thing I want to do is like draw Faye Jean Luc. That's just we're just gonna call him Faye Jean Luc for now. Faye Jean Luc. I want to draw out his parents because I like to imagine because Faye Jean Luc is a prince. He's a Fae prince with two younger sisters. And it's through these characters that we see how the Fae are just able to be far more expressive with magic than humans can be. You and me are in the same boat line. I also got ADHD, and but it's actually ADD, just without the H. Oh yeah, no, me too. I have ADD, but it was later added to ADHD. So for me, it's technically ADD, attention deficit disorder. That's technically what I have. Cat, you're on my mouse. She sat on her keyboard, so it was messing with my controls. That's not a live mouse. Yep. Let's try using dark orange. Casey is still there? Yep, I'm still here. I'm just concentrating on coloring. And also, it's a struggle for me to keep conversation since I'm typically the person who likes to speak when spoken to. So when conversations go quiet, I have a very hard time trying to keep the conversation going. It's a skill I'm trying to practice to be a conversation starter and maintain a conversation. Same, yeah. Because I don't want to keep just chatting about my own stuff. Because I don't know, that's what I've been told is like kind of selfish. Like when in a conversation, you're supposed to be typically asking the other person about what they want to talk about. But I do like the lulls. It's calming. I'm glad. It's not so it's your own channel. Yeah, I know. Conversation is strange for me sometimes. I think Casey left the chat, maybe they retired. I mean, Casey was never really one to chat often. They kind of just like to listen in or just have this playing on the background or something. Trust me, there's a stream I watch where you have to only talk about the characters. Maybe I should just try doing that and see what happens. Alright, here, I'll try. I never expected Dolly to become such a mascot to me because I do not struggle coming up with so many different OCs for different reasons and then to completely forget about them. But Dolly stuck around. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I tried making a story of her own that made me realize just how much I liked this character. And as I just drew her more, she just became more and more attached to me. And I started adding more and more of like similar personalities of myself to her. Sorry, my cat is again trying to distract me by sitting on my drawing tablet. Stop. Yeah, when you just find that character even unintentionally gets clicks. I just ended up falling in love with Dolly so much. So one day I would like to write her story. And her story is constantly going under changes as I grow more attached to this character and start adding more to her story than I originally intended. Dolly got them paw pads, like Wilden from the Rainbow Factory. Yeah, I kind of just gave up on her fingers a little bit. Yeah, I can't wait to actually flesh out and tell Dolly's story. A story about, like, friendship and struggling with faith. But it would be nice if she had paw pads. Then she'll be twice more adorable. I can't wait to hear how her story evolves. Thank you. And then I need a highlight. Let's do light orange as a highlight. And it was so fun putting Dolly in my Tomodachi life. I still gotta draw her daughter. I keep forgetting to do that. In Tomodachi life. In actual story, she don't have kids, but in Tomodachi life, she has a daughter. Her name is Winter. Okay, maybe that was too much. Oh boy, my Roblox. I never played Roblox, but I definitely got into the Roblox game Pressure by watching other people's playing it. And I did ended up really liking this one character, Sebastian, like every other person on the internet. She was one of my one-off characters that I made on a whim because I was hit with the inspiration bug, and thus I just had to draw something for my OC, and I did. And that's how Siren was born. And I never really thought too deeply about her story too much until I was like wanting to, like, I guess if I were to write her story, like go over the topics of like of her situation of like her falling in love with Sebastian. Is it out of genuine connection between the two, or is it because similar traumas they've gone through, and by being in forced close proximity, was this a natural relationship for them, or was it something just out of survival convenience for them? Well, I'm gonna head out. I got summer camp in the morning at the Princess Park. Well, have fun at summer camp, Leona. And only then did I started delving more into her story, especially her backstory as a person. Back when she was a person as a human, she wanted to be a supermodel. She could sing, she could dance, she had the looks. She wanted stardom. But because she was at the wrong place at the wrong time, saw something she shouldn't have, that dream was taken from her and was sent to the place where she was experimented on. Now she's a star fishdom. Yep, pretty much. That was a good one. And of course, she ends up meeting Sebastian. And in the beginning, Sebastian and her were kind of just existing in each other's presence. It wasn't until like they started bonding and talking more did like he started learning more about her wants and dreams, and just her overall quirkiness. I wouldn't say she's quirky. I think she was just, I don't know, what would you, she's still kind of confident in herself. Like when she saw a photo of her old human self and she showed it to Sebastian, she's like, "Man, I used to be so beautiful before they did this to me. I was gonna go places." Why, thank you. That's the kind of character this character was. Self assured, very confident. I wouldn't say she's narcissistic, but I guess very self confident. Slightly vain. Yeah, I'd say slightly vain. I mean, sadly, she had the looks to back it up, so. And she says silly stuff like in my head, one time they were just digging through whatever remains of the abandoned laboratory. Apparently, one of the scientists had some very naughty magazines hanging around, so they came across it. And she's like, "Man, is this what men want in women?" She's like, "I have all this and more. Where were all my? Why couldn't I get a boyfriend?" She's not necessarily doing all this stuff out of like just to be vain, but like to kind of distract herself from the whole situation, or to lighten up the situation. Hear ya. I hear ya slightly, sister. But yeah, over time, her and Sebastian would grow to care for each other and start to work together. And he did, and Sebastian over time did want not just himself and like painter, but her to also get out of there and to be free and not confined to this underwater prison. And thus begins his plan to try and get out of there. I haven't really decided how I wanted the story to end. I don't know if I want it to end bittersweetly or do they actually succeed in getting out. I'm not entirely sure just yet. But the biggest reason why they do hesitate in what they do is because they both kind of wonder, like, once they do get out, what's keeping them together? Would they even stay together because, I don't know, they were forced to be in that place, they have no real choice. Once they're out of there, what is there for them to stay together? And I forgot to draw her hat, darn it. Ah, yeah, Then there's Miss Pip over here. Again, you would definitely remember her from when I was trying to use her to replace Dolly for a little bit. And then Threadville came about. Now she's a dimensional hopper and a hippie. What a combination. Perfect for the 70s. And I also added her to Tomodachi Life. And it was just funny to see her walking around with the bong. Now I think she has like two guys who are interested in her now. And that's Stardust from Hazbin Hotel and Romeo, I believe. Oh, I can't remember. I know Romeo was into someone. Wait, I gotta check. Who's crushing on Pip right now? Oh, it's barely been an hour. Okay. Residence. Where is Pip? Oh. Okay, I'm back. Just waiting for my order to come over. Okay. Okay, no, so she has a crush on Romeo. She has a crush on Romeo, and Ezra has a crush on her. And so does Stardust from Hazbin Hotel. So Stardust, Hazbin Hotel, and Ezra have a crush on her. But she's in love with Romeo. I don't know how that happens. But yeah, she's in love with Merman. In Tomodachi Life. Some people actually like to say, I need to get it. It is fun. If you have the funds and are willing to spend a lot of money on it, go right ahead. But it's very fun. Very funny. And what's also funny is that while she's in love with Romeo, Romeo is in love with someone else. Which is crazy. Who is Romeo in love with? I keep forgetting. Oh my gosh. So, Romeo is in love with female Stardust from Hazbin Hotel. I gotta go check on something real quick. Be right back. There's actually a person who uses Tomodachi to ship Gear Lord and Avery. I'd imagine there's a whole lot of people who use Tomodachi Life to ship Pure Vanilla Cookie and Shadow Milk. Or who else? I don't know, a lot of YouTubers are playing on it and they do a lot of silly stuff on there too. But because you have such ultimate freedom with Tomodachi Life, you're not able to um, send pictures or something. It's just you have a lot of roundabouts to go in order to play to show images because anything can show up in Tomodachi Life. The craziest part is there is a pure vanilla cookie version that is just King and Yellow. Oh yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff with Cookie Run Kingdom AUs. Some of them are really cool. For those who are familiar with Homicifier, I'll show you. Homicipher. I'm gonna see what I add Bellflower if she'll end up with Howdy or do a 180 on me. I will force Eddie and Frank together. They will fall in love with each other. I can only imagine how Shadowmeld will react upon meeting him. So there's this homicifier. So there's this Cookie Run homicifier AU with Cookie Run Kingdom, and it is great. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here. So there's this artist on Tumblr who made a homicifier and Cookie Run Kingdom AU, and this is how he drew them. Very beautiful, very spooky. Great design. And Homicipher is already such an interesting game. And look how pretty he drew pure vanilla. I love this video because it's so fun, and I love all the art they did for it. Hi, Nebula. And that is Pip, our very lovely hippie high dimension hopper. And the one I'm most excited for Artfight is hoping that these two get a whole lot of drawings of them. I just hope so, but that is to be seen. So this is Mother Fortuna, and she is a very old ancient being that has been around for a long time. She's the oldest member of of the troop, and she has the unique ability to see into the future or see possibilities of the future. And because she's been alone for so long, one day she came across a baby Odile, and instead of eating her like she could have, she ended up raising her and taking care of her like she were her own. And thus has a very Mother Dimitresque relationship with Odile. She very much sees Odile as her own daughter and does not want anyone to hurt her. So that's why she was a bit against her being a burlesque dancer for the circus. So she commanded Jester to make sure she had a lot of fools that would be her stand-in. Well, not her stand-in, but to basically be a barrier between the people and her. She wanted nothing bad to happen to Odile. But while she can be a very caring individual, good mom, yeah, she can be a very caring individual. She does definitely have favorites, Odile being her most important. So, like the circus were to ever get in trouble, her first instinct would to protect Odile and not necessarily the whole group. So, in this terms of the story of what we have so far of the story for the Freak Circus, she is kind of indifferent to MC. She's not necessarily a romanceable character, but there is a route for her. And that is if MC learns of the dark side of the circus and becomes aware of its dark underbellies, I guess you could say. If MC decides to still keep quiet, I really love that route you made for her. Thank you. How tall is Fortuna? Give me a sec. Lore, where is it? Okay. She is about 8 feet 7 inches tall. She is a very tall woman. Here you go. Yeah, so she is about 8'7". Wow, yes, she be very tall. She a big mom. She a big mom. That's why Jester is very hesitant to argue with her. Not only is she old, she's more than like way stronger than he is. So it's in his best interest not to piss her off too much. But yeah, her route is more of a friendship route. She could crush me. Oh yeah, she could. And so for her route, if MC is willing to keep her mouth shut for the sake of the circus, Mother Fortuna will have a bit of a higher, not higher affinity, but will take her in, will welcome her into the circus and keep MC safe under her wing. But that also means MC kind of has to give up her life as they are now, because she still doesn't want MC running around accidentally snitching to people. Get adopted by a very creepy tall woman. Yeah, so that's kind of her route. There is no real romanceable path for her. I mean, she's a grandma. She's not looking for love at this time in her life at that point. Can't you adopt me? If you go down her story route, you very much could. She'll make sure you don't get turned into a fool. You'll have some sort of protections from the other monsters. Yeah, in a way, you get adopted. In a way, that's kind of just self-serving to herself. And who knows, maybe you help her overcome her grief of losing her other daughter. What does she think of my silly guy Piero? Mm, she doesn't have any strong feelings about him. She does seem as a very trusted individual, and thus trusts Piero to watch out for her daughter Odile the most. But she thinks he's a good boy for the most part. It's when he starts bringing the MC around is where she kind of gets wary of him because she knows how Piero gets when he falls in love with someone and the dangers that may be that he's bring. Whoa, sorry, and the risk he brings with MC. But if we're gonna go over all the other members, she likes the Doctor. She understands his importance, his role in the circus, so has no real qualms with him. She does like Ticket Taker. She does respect him because she knows he's doing the real important stuff, which is being the accountant. And for the most part, she respects Jester, even if she may not necessarily like him. Oh, the ambient stuff ended. But Mother Truth Fortuna's main role in the circus is to just to keep them ahead of trouble. So she's the one who usually determines when they should move and where to move to. And that's kind of why she has a little bit of authority within the circus, despite Jester most of the time being like the main leader guy. And that is Lady Fortuna. I can't wait for people to draw her more and to see her in other people's art styles. But last but certainly not least, we have Miss Odile. She is the adoptive daughter of Fortuna, and she is the circus burlesque dancer. She was the last of her family, her real true family, or family of origin, passed away from hunger and starvation. So Mother Fortuna took pity on her and decided to take her under her wing and raise her. Love her hair, thank you. I want to be adopted by Fortuna and still be in a relationship with Parrot. If you're willing to keep the circus a secret and keep your mouth zipped, She'd probably be more than willing to let you date whoever. Although she has to pass her is this a good boy inspection. If he doesn't, then ain't gonna happen. But Piero's a good boy for the most part. So she'll more than likely let you. But yeah, Odile is the burlesque dancer of this circus. He is a very good boy. Yes, so he'll more than likely pass with no issues. So she's a burlesque dancer. She does all the sexy dances. And her main love interest is the doctor. Since he's the only bird esque monster around, they kind of have a bit of a kinship around that identity. And she doesn't fear him at all. She does not have a fear of needles or what have you. So is willing to humor his jokes a bit in a way. And the doctor does reciprocate. He does find her pretty too. Harlequin, though, that's a different story. Oh yeah, Harlequin's a different story. Mother Fortuna, in a way, cares about him. He doesn't want him dying or whatever. But he's like this. He's like that son that says something super inappropriate, and the mother will just smack him on the back of the head. That's the kind of relationship they have. Yep. Yeah, I already did that. So it's a bit funny. For Odile's route, there's somewhat of a romanceable route for her, but it's when you go through her route, you discover the horrors of the circus and the quote unquote necessary evils they do for their kind. And she's kind of the route that tests the MC, like how much are you willing to turn a blind eye to atrocities. So if you do, and you play your cards right, she does become very greatly appreciative of you. And if for some reason, for whatever reason, the MC decides to prove their loyalty and just move around with the circus for whatever reason, Odile will have you under her protection and will have you like doing less of the hard, intense labor and kind of just have you chill around her and be like her, I guess, tent mate for the most part to keep her company and to just be like a confidant. I want to be friends with her. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She likes exploring cities. She likes collecting pretty shiny trinkets and paintings. If she's not practicing her routines and dances, she's more than likely in her tent, painting or just doing any kind of art crafting media. You almost became her songbird. I will give her all the shinies, and she will greatly appreciate that. And she's not too bothered if you decide to still want to pursue Para. She's not bothered by that. Just make sure it doesn't get away with your like the job she has you there for. Do you think she'll? Do you think she likes cookies? She's okay with cookies, but she has to watch her shape figure. So she'll enjoy the occasional cookie, but for the most part, she'll probably give you the food. If there's food she does not feel like eating, or I don't know if she's doing her dieting thing, she'll probably just. And if it's food that she can't eat or isn't supposed to eat, she'll just hand it over to you. She'll be like, "Can you dispose of this for me?" So if Piero did like make her too many cookies, she'll just feed you the rest of the cookies. And there's my banner. We have Odile, Fortuna, Pip, Siren, and Dolly. What about hugs? As long as the hugs are on her terms, she'll do it. She'll hug you every once in a while, but it has to be on her terms. If you try to like surprise hug her, she's definitely gonna slash at you out of like shock. Let's see, how much time do we have? We do not. So, yeah, that's understandable. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for hanging around with me to watch me do some preparations for Artfight. This is probably what I'm going to be doing for like maybe the rest until Artfight happens, and I'll try to stream a lot more often with my final few days of freedom before I start working at the post office. Because with my post office job, I'm not entirely sure if I'll have time to do dedicated streams where most people are awake. So I'll try to stream a little bit more often these final few weeks I have. I wish you luck on your new job. Thank you. So see you again soon, guys. Bye.